We've seen a session of play on day 2 at the Adelaide Oval. 56 runs on day 1 in the first session, 4 wickets for India, 57 runs for Australia on day 2, but just the 2 wickets. This is ESPN Cricinfo Matchday. Hello and welcome. I'm Raunak Kapoor. If you need a quick reminder, if you're just tuning your alarms or putting them off and waking up and rubbing the mist off your eyes, that's what happened. It took one ball for Australia to finish India's innings, which is no more 250 for 9, and Australia in response. We saw a bit of Marcus Harris that looked good before R. Ashwin picked up his first wicket of the series. Ishant Sharma sending Aaron Finch packing in the first over itself. Lunchtime on Adelaide, VVS Lakshman, Ajit Agarkar, best of mornings, gentlemen.
Morning,
Good
night's sleep. Morning, Raunak.
Good night's sleep.
You look fresh.
Because it's not the 5 a.m. start. Yeah, it's the 7:30, which is still better for me. And Brad Hodge is in secure location at the Adelaide Oval. Hodge, let me come to you first. Would you take that if you were Australia, 57 for 2?
Yeah, I mean, the loss of Harris just before the break there was unfortunate. But I think all in all, 2 experienced openers in Finch and Harris. I thought they did a good job. Finch lost early, of course, but I think Marcus Harris in particular in his first game played particularly well against a pretty fired-up Indian attack. I thought they followed the Australians' method and bowled pretty full and tried to attack the stumps and just outside off stump, but were good enough to negate.
They say that these first 12, 15 overs of the Kookaburra ball, you have to try to get the most of it. Did the Indian bowlers do enough?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty flat conditions. It is a bit overcast today than it was bright and sunny yesterday. There's a bit of breeze as well. So they bowled well. I think Ishant in particular, bowled steady. It is going to be hard work. I think they'll have to keep chipping away, have a lot of patience. That first wicket always helps in the first over. So, and to get another one before lunch was handy, but they'll have to work hard to get the wickets on that pitch.
Makes it easier when the sun's not out. We saw a hot day yesterday, Australia toiling, and almost makes their achievement look even better today.
Yeah, definitely it makes it easy. I still remember the 2003 test match. Australia got 400 runs on the first day, but it was cloudy. I didn't feel the heat. I'm sure Ajit must have felt as a bowler.
Plenty.
but it's always helpful, because you don't want as a bowling unit to bowl when it's hot. Yesterday it was 39, 40 degrees. Definitely the Australian bowlers had to really toil hard. But credit to the Indian fast bowlers this morning because it's flat wicket. There was no swing. Surprisingly, with the new Kookaburra as well, there was no swing except for the first 2 overs from Ishant. So I feel that it's very important to play with the patience, which is not necessarily the virtue of Australian batsmen because they all by nature are very attacking. So I think just bowl disciplined lines and force them to make a mental error. And again, the way Ashwin started, I think he has to do a long, job today where he has to show a lot of patience and he has to hold up one hand, allow the 3 fast bowlers to bowl in short bursts and bowl attacking lines and attacking lengths.
Okay, we'll have a word on R. Ashwin, who's got his first wicket of this series. Let's take it as the innings started. It started with the wicket of Aaron Finch. Now, there's much being said about Aaron Finch and whether he makes for an effective test opener, Brad Hodge. But is that the kind of shot that doesn't do his chances or in the eyes of the selectors or those who doubt him any good when he's trying to flash one far too soon?
No, it was loose, wasn't it? And, we discussed the importance of the brand new Kookaburra ball. And if you can get past that 20 overs, that it's a good flat wicket here in Adelaide and you can try and cash in. I think the difficult thing for Finchy is that, he's a middle order player. And although he opens the batting, in one-day cricket, you can pin him against the Rohit Sharma and to say that, look, it's more easy to open in one-day cricket than it is in test match cricket. And you're probably more comfortable down the order. And he's batted at 4 and 5 for Victoria and Surrey in the last 3 years and been really successful in that period in the middle order. But at the moment, we're actually just struggling to find that right combination in our batting unit. But all in all, it was a loose shot outside. As well bowled by Ishant. He pitched it up, challenged the stumps, and Finchy played a loose shot.
I don't want to pass judgment or ask you to pass judgment so early into Aaron Finch's test career, but if you are saying he's not opening for Victoria, would he be better suited as someone who bats middle order to open up an opening slot, whether that's for Matthew Renshaw or anybody else who's doing well in the domestic circuit? Would Aaron Finch be better served as a test middle order batsman?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's very difficult for a middle order player to move up as an opener in test match cricket. I think it's easier probably for an opener to move down the order, but to move up the order, BVS would understand it's very difficult. to be a Test match opener, you need to be very sound in your technique. He's a stroke maker. He's a gifted stroke maker, and when the ball's not moving, he's dangerous. But the Test match cricket, the ball moves early, so he's going to be vulnerable.
VVS is the other way around. I think VVS wanted to bat higher and was not given as much. Of that
but I agree totally with Brad there. I think even in today's dismissal, it showed lack of technique and also lack of mindset, which a genuine opener should have. Now, Ishant Sharma, if you have done your homework, you know that Ishant Sharma doesn't take the ball away from the right-hander. He gets the ball into the right-hander, and you can't play that lavish cover drive to someone like Ishant Sharma where the ball is swinging. First over, the bowlers have done a fantastic job after losing the toss. 250 runs is not a par score. As a senior player, yes, he didn't play too much of Test match cricket. Like Rohit Sharma, he's a senior player who's been around playing for Australia in limited overs format for a long time. So that discipline he had to show, because at the other end there was a debutant. So he had to lead the way, which unfortunately he didn't do. Mental error. It's all about knowing the conditions, and he's been born and brought up in Australia.
And you've had all of yesterday to know. If you just see out the first half an hour
and a flat wicket, so it was a great opportunity for him, probably playing his first Test in Australia. And I think once he would have seen off the new ball, probably played 6 or 8 overs, he would have probably played his natural game, free-flowing game, and he would have got runs as well and got confidence for himself and for the team.
And good couple of balls as well from Ishant. That first one which he left, there was appeal, which hit his pads, was outside off stump, was a little bit shorter, the length. The next one is bowled it a lot fuller, and it's swung. But not a great shot, but that's exactly what you want to do as a new ball bowler.
The word Haji said, loose, and we've seen that from Aaron Finch even in 2020 cricket at times. If the ball's moving, he's times guilty of trying to flash one too soon. I think Brad Hodge only put him down in the middle order for the Gujarat Lions. If memory serves me right, I don't know if it was for that reason or because you put too many openers in that team, Haji.
Probably just poor selection of too many openers. But look, Finchie, I think what VVS is spot on. As an opener, you just should be thinking, if I can just get through this new kookaburra, the 2 new spells of Ishant and Bumrah, if you can get past that, you'll build yourself into an innings. And I think it's just lack of clarity and content. But and again, Ajit points out, full credit to the Indian bowlers. They've pitched the ball up. They've obviously learnt their lessons from the past. Generally touring countries are on the shorter side than full, but they look like they're pitching the ball up, trying to get any movement that's there, even though it's flat and it's not there. They're still challenging the fuller side and the shorter side, and I reckon it's a good tactic.
Okay, now after that came a spell of 20 overs where Marcus Harris and Usman Khawaja did the important part of seeing this new kookaburra ball out. 45 runs the partnership, but that's irrelevant. 20 overs they batted, and it'll be interesting to see where India bowled at that time. You get a couple of quick wickets and suddenly you have almost a repeat of what happened in the first session yesterday. But if I put Ajit Agarkar's eyes on this, the length balls, 73 of them, short of length 33, full 6. I remember yesterday, a lot of wickets for Australia seamers just bowling full. Were they guilty of not bowling as full as you would have liked?
Different bowlers. I mean, you look at Stark, Cummins and Hazelwood, all tall guys. Sometimes it's a lot harder to bowl fuller for taller guys, but Bumrah and Shami are different kinds of bowlers. Yeah, it'll be nice to get full. I don't think. The length's still pretty good. I don't think they were short, which is fine. There was a lot of leaves, which is okay. These are pretty flat conditions. There wasn't a lot of swing apart from Ishant on offer, so they'll have to be patient. I mean, you don't necessarily want to go too full either. I think they had a good session. I think they've still kept a bit of control on the game, and if they can pick up an early wicket after lunch, then I'm still not quite sure how this Australian batting is going to go. I mean, we keep saying it's flat conditions and 250 is obviously not enough. India will have to keep a lot of patience.
Do you need to remember your length even if you've told before? Forget Jasprit Bumrah who's playing his first Test in Australia. It takes some time for him to get it. But even someone like Ishant or Shami who's bowled there before, do you need to sometimes?
Yeah, they played a side game. I think all of them had lots of bowling. I think that's the first thing you want to do. Bowl enough overs in those conditions. I think even though the game, 600 or something score or close to 600 scored by that CA 11. They had a lot of overs under their belt. So, no, I think with experience, you kind of should know pretty quickly. And sometimes in flat conditions, it helps. If there is a bit of bounce or there's a bit of seam movement, that sometimes maybe makes it a little bit tougher to get your lines and lengths right. on flat conditions, you're used to bowling in flat conditions. Even though they might be a little bit different to India, you are used to bowling on flat conditions. So length is much easier to sort of start getting pretty quickly.
Now that's on length, but the line that India have chosen to attack Australia's left-handers with, 4 out of the top 6 are left-handers, and Harris, Khwaja, and now Sean Marsh, seems to be a conscious effort to keep it around the wicket for the right-arm seamers. So let's first tell you whether that's something that bowlers generally find a successful theory when it comes to bowling in Australia. This is pace bowlers to left-hand batsmen in Australia in the last 4 years or so, and we're just looking at over the wicket and around the wicket. Average of 42 over the wicket and around 37, 140 wickets though, and 71% of the overs are bowled over the wicket. So that's the large chunk of it tends to be over, but there's not much of a difference in terms of at least the numbers on average and strike rate. How did India do today though in comparison to over and around? There's very little right arm over the wicket to the left-handers. If you're just trying to catch up on this first session, if you're watching from India, just 3.4 overs over the wicket, 14.5 overs around. Now VVS, is that an advisable plan looking at the type of bowlers India has? Would you like to see a little more mixing up?
I think for someone like Ishant Sharma, that's fine. You know, because Ishant Sharma to left-handers, if he bowls over the wicket, it's a very easy angle for the left-handers to leave the ball, because Ishant doesn't have the ability to consistently get the ball into the left-hand batsman. Whereas someone like Bumrah and Shami, both of them are more skillful. You know, and like example, as a right-hand batsman, I mean, Ajit can talk more about the bowling, but as a right-hand batsman, if a left-arm seamer is bowling to me round the wicket, it becomes very easy for me. Whereas if he's bowling over the wicket, for me, I think there are three or four ways of getting out. You can get out LBW, you can get bowled, or you can also get caught. You know, whereas if you're bowling round the wicket, then it becomes very easy. It's only taking the outside edge. The LBW will be out of contention. So I believe that Bumrah and Shami can bowl more over the wicket, and that will be attacking lines. You know, if you're coming around the wicket, it can be for a change, but I feel just it will be more on a defensive line. And while the wicket is flat, I still feel for a new batsman, because you see Finch, you see Usman Khwaja, Sean Marsh is a very tentative starter. All of them are very nervy. So early on, the more balls you make them play, I think you get more opportunity to take wickets, you know, and that's something which India should look at, you know, because you don't want the Australian batsmen to settle down.
Jasprit Bumrah bowled 2 balls in his first over the wicket. Was probably guilty of overcompensating on the line, and then came around the wicket ever since.
Yeah, unless they've seen something in Harris that they know that he's vulnerable down the stump, I think that was too early. Because we've seen Bumrah can still bowl an outswinger to a right-hander or in-swinger to a left-hander. And Kookaburra does swing. I mean, he has the ability, even with his action, to get the ball into the left-hander, and it can be a bit more effective from over the stumps early on if you can get it straight. Okay, it's not the Duke's ball or English conditions, but still that new Kookaburra does swing. So I thought it was too early to go around the stumps for him. Ishant, I can understand, because he tends to maybe push it a bit wide from over the stumps to left-hander. Like Lakshman said, you know, sometimes then that angle becomes a lot easier. So for him to come round the stumps,
he troubled Alistair Cook just by bowling that all through the summer, and you could see Ishant Sharma likes that against the left-hander. But there was this memorable wicket of Keaton Jennings from Bumrah, I think, over the wicket, where we saw he could have a natural, genuine in-swinger to the left-hander that could trouble him. Would he not be able to get that with the Kookaburra ball?
He should be. I mean, if there is any swing on offer, I mean, I'm not saying it will happen every day, but if you do move round the stumps after 2 balls, I don't think you're looking to bowl that ball at all. You know, you're then just trying to look at bowling that angle if it does come into a left-hander, which then you're trying to do what Ishant Sharma is trying to do, come round the stumps and maybe angle into him and try to take the ball away. So I thought it was a bit too soon. And even Shami, okay, he came first change, maybe there wasn't as much swing on offer, but should have at least had a go for over the stumps for a couple of balls.
Okay, I hope Haji is not snoozed off listening to us talk about India's bowlers, right arm over right arm round. We've got a question from a fan on the same thing, and I'll take Brad Hodges' comments just after that. Let's just see what we've got. Siddharth Tumkur, so many left-handers. Why are India missing the trick of swing bowlers like Bhuvaneshwar or Umesh? Okay, so maybe the selection call is a different subject, but in general, lots of right arm around to the left-handers. Haji, does that play in to the left-handers batsmen, or do you think India got the plan right, at least, even if not the result?
Look, I think they've planned and done their homework really well. On the selection side of things, I think that they're probably going on the banking of how well those 3 bowlers bowled in England. I mean, Mohammad Shami was excellent in England. Ishant seems to be such an improving bowler, and And Bumrah is such an X factor and a quality bowler. The good thing is for India is they have Bhuvanesh Kumar and Umesh Yadav, who are super bowlers, waiting in the wings for an opportunity. So, look, I think they just could have stayed over the wicket a little bit and challenged, the stumps of the Australians, especially a couple of new batsmen coming to the crease. Just when you swing the ball, Ajit Agarkar was a right-arm swing bowler and challenged the stumps. And if you're a left-hander, you find it vulnerable because you can also nick the ball to balls that swing back in. You're not sure where your off-stump is. Coming around the wicket seems to me like it could have been a plan, post the 10, 15 over mark where trying to contain the Aussies and, blunt their scoring opportunities. But all in all, I thought their plans and execution were pretty good, but just a fraction later for me would have been perfect.
Okay.